Hey besties, welcome back to my tutorial. So in today's tutorial I'm going to be recreating this beautiful gown style on your screen. So if this gown or this outfit is what you want to be trying out or what you want to be recreating, then this video is for you. So first of all, I'm going to be using this gum stay. This is a gum stay, so it's going to be serving as my drafting paper. So I'm going to be drafting this gown on this gum stay firstly before I'll be marking it out or turning it out into my main fabric. So here I'm going to be cutting out the front and the back together. So being on fold, I'm going to be marking out my zipper allowance. So this is a short ruler, so in case if you have a longer ruler, so it's going to serve better for you. So I'll be marking out my zipper extension. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark out the supposed length of my gown. So I think I used the 32 inches, okay, for the length. So when I'm done, the next thing I'm going to mark out is my shoulder. So dividing my shoulder by 2, then adding ½ inch. I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, then I marked out my armhole length. So having marked out my armhole length, I'm going to connect the lines and then dividing what I have, dividing it by 4, and then come in by ½ inch, connecting the ½ inch and then making my curve for my armhole. Okay, so this is my armhole curve. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark out my neckline. So for the front neckline I use 3 by 3. So this is the neckline is a bit up, so that's why I use 3 by 3 for the front. So I'm going to use my curve ruler to make my round curve. So for the back, for the width I use 3, then for the length I use 1 inch. So I'm going to be marking it out and then I will use my curve ruler as well to make my round neckline. So having done all of this, the next thing I'm going to do is to mark out my body measurement. So here I'm going to be marking out my waistline. So and then I'm going to use my ruler to mark out the line. So when I'm done, I'm going to be marking out my hip line. So and I'm going to use my ruler as well to mark out the line. So I'm going to be labeling, this is the waistline and this is the hip line. So I'm going to mark out the chest line as well. So this is the chest line that I'm marking out. So I'm going to label as well as the chest line. So when I am done, the next thing I'm going to do is to put my body measurement. So I divided my bust by 4 and then I added ½ inch. Remember, the upper part is a bit tight, okay? So at the hip line, I'm going to make sure that what I'm marking out is as free as what I wanted, okay? So here I just divided my hip by 4 and then I added 3 inches. That is how free I want it to be. So when I'm done, I'm just going to use my ruler to connect it, okay? As I said earlier, if you have a longer ruler, it's going to serve much more better. So I'm trying to make sure that my line is a bit straight and curvy at the hip line. So when I'm done, I am just going to make sure that my length is exactly what I am marking out as well. I'm marking out exactly. So I'm going to cut it out and then I'm going to cut to my main fabric. So because I'm cutting the front and the back together, so this particular one is going to serve as the front. So I am going to be cutting out this zipper extension, okay? So I'll be cutting out this zip extension. Then this is the main fabric I'll be using. This is a 3 years of plain crepe. Okay, so I'll be using this material for my main fabric. So I'll be cutting it out to my main fabric, and while cutting out, I'll just be adding 1/2 inch seam allowance as well. So when I'm done, I'm going to mark out the back as well. Okay, so right now, guys, I'm done cutting out my main fabric, the front and the back. So here at the front, I want the front to have a slit, because this is going to enable the rope at the neckline to balance. It will enable the rope at the neckline to balance it being tied. So I'm cutting it the same with the interface at the under. That's the interface. So I'm going to be making this slant at the neckline. So I just use a 3 inches slant. This is a 3 inches slant. So I'm going to do the same thing at the interface. Then I am going to turn it out and then show you guys. So yes, I'm going to be using this interface as I told you guys earlier. So I'll be using this interface to turn it out, and then I'll show you guys how it looks after turning it out. So guys, this is how it looks after turning. So the next thing I'm going to do is to join my back together, and then when I'm done joining, I'm going to go ahead and use 1 inch shape, and then I will insert my zipper. So I'll do that and then I'll come and show you guys. So here, guys, I'm done joining. So if you watch very close, you see that the down part has a little printing gathers at the down. So here I'm going to measure what I have in the down, then I'll multiply it by 2. So when I'm done, this is what I got, and I have cut out the materials that I will use in making my little gatherings. Okay, so I'm going to do it and then I will show you guys how it's come about. So guys, this is how it looks when I was done. So this is the first gather, and this is the little printing gather at the upper part, that's the down part as well. So this is how it looked. So I am going to go ahead and cut my sleeve, and then I'll also make the gather that comes with the sleeve. I'll make it and then I'll show you guys how it looks. So this is how it's going to be looking when you are done. I'm sorry I didn't show you guys how I was able to achieve this. So I'll just put it in my sleeve, and then I'll go ahead and make that's the rope for the neck. Okay, so for the rope of the neck, I'm just going to join my fabric like this, the neckline. I'm going to be folding it, and I'll use my pin to hold it to avoid flipping away. So when I'm done joining it, I'm going to be measuring what I have from my zip to where the slit ends. So when I was done measuring, I had 8.5. So I'm going to be adding this 8.5 by 2. It's going to give me, I think it gave me 16 or 16.5. So here I'll be using this to cut out the rope. Okay, so for the rope, I used a width of 7 and a length of 36. So from here, I'm going to be that 8.5 that I measured out for the neckline. I'm going to mark it out because it's going to serve as it's going to have an opening for me to be able to join it round to that neckline. So I'm going to be cutting out this rope curve. As I said before, I used a width of 7 and a length of 36. So here I'm just going to cut it out so that I'll be able to cut it to my main fabric. So this what I cut it out in this gum stay, it's going to be into two. That's why cutting it out in my main fabric, I'm going to be cutting it by two. So guys, this is how it looks when I was done cutting and joining. As you can see, that opening part is where I'm going to be joining it to my neckline. So here I'll place that opening part to the beginning of my slit. That's where that slit started. I'm going to pin it together and then I will now start sewing. So I am going to sew together and then I'll show you guys how it looks after sewing. Okay. So guys, I am done and this is how it came out. So this is the zip, how it's fitting so pretty well. So I'm going to show you guys how it looks on my manicure. So I displayed it on my manicure and it was giving 100 over 100 minus nothing. So here you just decide how to tie your rope. I'm not really good at tying ropes, so you decide how to tie your rope. So guys, this is the final look of this beautiful outfit. I decided to display it on my manicure and it was looking so pretty and beautiful. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see my guys in my next video. Bye.